Shout out to Great Lakes Tees, where you can get premium, soft, true to size, modern fit t-shirts by fans for fans. Use promo code SURVIVE for 10% off on their website at greatlakestees.com.
I just checked my order, Adam. I got the Baker Mania shirt coming in. That is on its way. I just checked it this morning, so I'm looking forward to that one. And there's some other awesome shirts on there. The Bless 'em Landry is going to be a big one, I imagine. So get on there. Check them out.
That's promo code SURVIVE on greatlakestees.com for 10% off. Browns 0-8 at home. Just sad.
I haven't heard you this down since Dr. Brown got fired. It's a game that we were in, and it's a game that we just don't finish.
I don't want to watch anymore.
Why? Why does that happen? I'm so sick of watching those plays.
0-16.
I definitely do not want to watch this all 22.
That's up and down to me. That looks like dysfunction. Surviving the season. We are back. This is episode 7 of season number 3. Hard Knocks episode 2 review.
Yeah, Hard Knocks edition. So if you don't watch Hard Knocks, this is probably not the show for you. Unless you just kind of want to get a little bit of insight on what the hell happened on there. But what if you haven't watched Hard Knocks yet and you got it recorded? Just know that this is spoiler alert time.
Oh,
speaking of that, did you see that fuck Adam Schefter? This pisses me off. Before the show comes out, Adam Schefter has to talk about the discussion that Hugh has with Antonio Callaway. Dude, an hour before the show, I got to post this up there. What value does that bring? Honestly,
yeah.
What value does that bring to anybody? Just to know, it's like, I know and you don't. That's what it's like a little kid going, I know something you don't know. I know something you don't know. Oh, I'm going to type it in my Twitter box. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, yeah, you'll find out in an hour when you go to watch the show. But I knew about it first, just so you know. Fuck you, Adam Schefter. How about I just want to fucking watch the show on my own without you ruining it? Hey, how about this? Adam Schefter giving me the final score before the game's over from now on. Huh? Oh, yeah, the Browns are going to win this one 21-19 this week. Oh, well, you'll see. It'll happen here in
what happens in the last 2 minutes.
Fuck him, dude. And I like Adam Schefter most of the time, but it's enough already. Like, who are you, Michael J. Fox? Are you going Back to the Future? You know, what the fuck? Are you getting the little betting fucking, I got the Hard Knocks episode 2. Oh, look, you wouldn't believe what he was going to say. Fuck off.
Dude,
sorry.
He's gonna be spoiling Game of Thrones and shit when it comes up.
Right?
Just heard from my sources.
So you know, they all die. Yeah, the whole thing blows up, just so you know. Hey, guess what? What was the dude in Breaking Bad? What was the name? Oh, Walter White. Sorry, not looking good. R.I.P. Fuck you.
Yeah, that actually happened to you. I think that's why you referencing
it did happen to me. And yes, what do you call those people? Is that what you call a?
Those are spoiler alert people. Those are spoilers.
Yeah, right. And it's like everything, and that's what happens. You know, you got the show recorded. You're gonna watch it the next day. You can't catch it that night, and then here comes on Facebook, Walter White, R.I.P. Who does that?
Dude,
who does that?
That's what these shows. That's Adam how they Schefter. Know if these shows. That's how they know if they're actually popular, because enough people have to watch it, like when it airs, or you're never gonna not spoil it. So it's like nobody's spoiling whatever fucking sitcoms are on today. It's not, like you're not gonna. Everyone's not like posting every line from that. But dude, if Game of Thrones is on and you're on Twitter and you don't want to know about Game of Thrones, you have to turn off Twitter. It's that popular.
Sure. I just don't understand. It's like everybody wants to scoop each other, right? What value does that even add to be the first? I was the first one to know about it. Okay, great. Congratulations. 3 seconds before you posted it to everybody else. I mean, it's nice, I guess, that you get the information, but it's not like it's who fucking cares really who gets it and what, we're all going to basically get it at the same time anymore on Twitter. It all comes to everybody. And there's just no reason to even ruin stuff like that. Just let it come out. You can comment on it after if you want after the fact, but
right.
That just makes no sense for Adam Schefter to post such a thing, and in fact, it kind of irritates me.
Of like a show, it's just an entertainment show. Like Adam Schefter, he's good for one thing, and that is basically If Adam Schefter says a trade has happened, a trade has happened. That's all we need from you.
That's fine. But even
break
then,
the trades.
Even if that's the case, he's confirming it before. What's the difference? What we have to wait 4 more hours for it to come out? Does it really matter? Does it matter if I know 4 hours before? How do you make so much money just letting us know things that's going to happen anyways?
but
what is your real value?
I don't know, but what's best about Schefter is anybody else can break it. Like Mary Kay could say right now, like Tyrod Taylor traded to. We would all wait for Schefter to report it before, like, and he would confirm it right away or say no, it's not done yet. But nobody would really take it serious until Schefter or the other dude posts it.
Right. You can. I guess that's the case. You can take it to the bank at that point. But I mean, it gives you an extra like couple hours to talk about it. I mean, that's what it is. There's no real value to it. It's just. I know something. No, that's all it is.
Yeah, Ian Rappaport or Schefter. They can break trades, and those are about the only 2 people that you're going to go, okay, that's real.
Yeah. All right. So now that I've vented there, we can get to the actual show, which was a good show. I thought this was much better than episode 1.
Yeah. Let's start it off. Real quick. Corey Coleman being angry after showing off all his shoes.
Yeah, hey, check out my shoes. It's going to be a real pain in the ass to box these all up and take to Buffalo. I hope I kept boxes. So that was interesting. He goes into Hugh's office. Well, first of all, they show a bunch of plays where they cut it where it's all bad stuff. Now, I went to a couple days of practice. It wasn't all bad stuff. I don't think they were totally fair in the editing job there to Coleman. But it definitely makes Coleman out to be a whiner. What does Haley say? He's easily distracted. He's not focused. He looks like he's running a 9 route going 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So I think that gave us a look into the things that we don't get to see normally, and that's what shows you why. Hey, this is a reason why he gets traded. This is a reason why they give him away for a conditional 7th round. Obviously, there was more there than just stuff that was happening on the field. But he goes into Hugh's office and starts complaining, hey, why am I running second team? And it almost sounds like he's like ready to cry there.
Yeah, he seemed real upset about it, which was weird.
Yeah. And Hugh goes, well, don't ask me. Go ask Todd.
It's so stupid. Dude. Yeah. Ask Todd. No, ask Coach Haley. If he's talking to Haley, he can call him Todd. But if he's talking to Corey, I don't know if you should call him Todd.
I don't know if he did call him Todd.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he did? He really did? Yeah. Anyways, okay. So
I'm not sure if that's a big deal in pro football, but I would assume at the lower levels, you go by the...
Why wouldn't he have been like, well, Corey, you're not getting it done right now. We're expecting more, and until you step up your game. Like, why? Well, don't ask me. Go talk to the guy that did it. You're the head coach, man. You're the head coach.
Right, deal with it.
We drop you down when you're not playing up to your potential, what we think your potential is. We want to get more out of you, Corey. You're
Probably
better than what.
Good for him to go to second team and try to ball out with Baker and make it, try to make himself look good. Christ.
Right. I think so. Then you see that, and people are the reaction that I saw like on Twitter was like, "Oh, look, that's why they trade." Well, he asked for a trade there. Even he goes, "Just go ahead and trade me." He said. He's like, if you guys don't want me, just go ahead and trade me. And like, well, that's why you got traded. But I don't think people understand this stuff happens all the time, especially if you watch Hard Knocks. This is what the Hard Knocks is founded upon, is people going and confronting their coaches. There was when the Rams...
and asking for trades?
Basically. LaMarcus Joyner, who I think made a Pro Bowl last year, he went in and confronted Jeff Fisher back in the season, 3-4 years ago. And he said, why aren't you guys playing me? He started breaking down the same thing, and he quit. He legitimately quit. He's like, I'm done. I'm not playing anymore, right? And now, so I think people, these guys' whole fucking lives are focused around football. So when it's not going right, you're going to see people get emotional. You're going to see them get upset. They want to be the man, obviously. Nobody wants to play second fiddle, and those kind of things flare up. You see that once in a Hard Knocks, and you go, "Oh, see, he's a pain in the ass." But I guarantee you, these are conversations that are being had a lot.
Yeah, I did like his Benz though.
What was it?
His Mercedes.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Did they show it? I don't remember seeing it.
He's like, "Adios, Cleveland," yelling out the window.
Yeah. So I don't think there's going to be any love lost between Browns fans and Coleman after that. You know, that definitely made him look to be expendable.
Yeah.
So
I know where you can get a Mercedes Benz in Fort Worth, Texas. Ryan Cavazos, shout out for the emails, buddy.
Oh, nice.
And a plug.
So that's how it started out, and I was already like, oh, here we go. This is going to be fun. It goes to our wide receiver room. Adam Henry's talking to the wide receivers saying, hey, next man up, blah, blah, blah. And he says a great line at the end when they're walking out. And he says, be famous or be forgotten. Right? Yeah. And I was like, oh, I like that. Right? I like Adam Henry. What do you think of that wide receiver coach?
Yeah. Seems connected to the players.
Yeah.
Seems to have their pulse.
So many of the other position groups, the coaches just look like playing pussies. Like they have no, maybe they're really good at their job, but it just doesn't seem like much presence. Adam Henry has a presence about himself, much like Haley and much like Greg Williams. You know, they have that presence where it just seems they're respected differently. Maybe Kitchens even seem to have that presence talking to Hugh.
It's sort of important for Henry to be able to talk to the players like that, because Haley's screaming at Coleman or Callaway in the one scene, and then wide receivers coach grabs Henry, grabs him over, and then has like another conversation with him. You know, like that's a good, because now you have the kids like got his focus and yells at him, and then Adam Henry can sort of try to mold that into motivation. You know, at a personal level.
That's what's great about having like positional coaches like that. You know, because now you're getting more one-on-one time. Haley obviously can't do that with 50 guys on offense.
Right.
He can't sit there and talk to each individual guy.
It's like good cop, bad cop. And then good cop wins out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't think anybody is coming off better than Todd Haley in the show so far, though. You think?
Yeah. He's fairly entertaining, too.
Yeah. And I think he's just always making really good points, or he's coaching the way that you would, hard but fair. I don't know, man. I think he's coming off as like, okay, this guy seems to have his shit together. And it probably will, when you're getting your chance on Hard Knocks, like you were saying, are you going to change your, are you sort of going to change for the camera? And you were saying, you probably always do, even if it's just like subliminally, like you're just going to be, I wonder if this is the way Haley always is, because they always say he's chippy. It just doesn't seem like you could be putting that on like that.
Yeah, I would say when they're in practice mode, I bet the coaches forget a lot more about the cameras than when they're doing other things. I mean, it's pretty obvious that when a player's mic'd or a coach is mic'd, they're aware that they're mic'd for the game, or, when they're just catching sound from the practice field, I think these guys forget. Or because they're focused on their jobs. I would say like in the meeting rooms and shit, it's a little bit more pronounced that we got cameras here, and it's a little different.
So they go from from the whole Coleman thing, then they go in Dorsey's talking to Andrew Healy, who's like a assistant like personnel guy, right, or something like that. I can't remember what his exact
something.
Yeah, and they're going down the list of wide receivers. They get rid of Coleman, and this is the thing we talked about. Like, you look at the wide receiver room, you can't be satisfied. So they got rid of Coleman knowing that they were going to be short there. So in their mind, Coleman was 100% expendable by all means, just because of what seems to be, these attitude problems and whatnot. They're looking, and Andrew Haley's, he's going, well, these are potential trade ones. And he goes, well, where's Des Bryant? And he goes, all the way down there in the bottom, he's a 30-year-old wide receiver. And Dorsey says, no, he's only 29. And he goes, well, 29.7.
So he's such a total analytics dork.
Yeah, exactly. 29.7. So that told me that they are definitely searching, which we know. I mean, they're bringing in Dez tomorrow being Thursday, right? So Dez is supposed to come in for a workout tomorrow. Don't be surprised. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Dez. I'm in the mindset that we still need another body there, and Des Bryant's the best damn one you can add right now. I don't think Dez has ever failed a drug test or anything that I know of. He's had some run-ins. He's got attitude. That's what he brings. You're going to get Dez playing as hard as he can all the time. any of the problems that he had off the field seem to be past him some time ago. Like he's definitely matured since he's been in the league. So the things that I think a lot of people worry about Dez, to me, are more things that are in the past. Obviously, there's some, there's some chippiness to him. Well, we had three fights yesterday in practice. I don't think I'm fine with chippiness. I think chippiness is good. It's something that our team's lacked for a long time. So I'll take chippiness over somebody that's just completely docile and just fucking doesn't do a damn thing and doesn't want to compete.
Yeah, I don't mind him flipping the bench over because he's not getting the ball when he's open or he's pissed at the quarterback. Everybody's a big boy out there, and so I get it. You're fired out for the game. There's a lot of adrenaline. There's a lot of testosterone flying around, and it's probably good for Tyrod or Mayfield to if guys are getting on their case.
Well, if he's more than a problem than what he's producing, then you just you cut ways with him. I mean, I'm fully expecting if they sign him, it's going to be like a 1-year deal anyhow.
Sure. I'd just rather bring in somebody young that could help you going forward.
And who's that going to be? Like where there's just nobody there's nobody out there right now. There's nobody worth that can come in and actually be a player. And we're talking about we're just assuming Josh Gordon's going to be here.
Teams are going to be cutting weight here in a couple weeks. There's going to be
what guy what there's not going to be any
Greg, you're asking me who
on Dez.
Okay.
There's not going to be any players getting cut that are on Dez Bryant's level, though. Let's be honest.
If I could get 90% out of somebody that's 24 and I need to use him as a number 3 or number 4 receiver,
I don't know. We'll see when those cuts come. We'll take a look at it. Obviously, you never know. Sometimes there could be a name or two thrown out there. But as of right now, the way it looks is what I'm going off of. There's just nothing there. And cuts aren't until like the final week, right?
Yeah, we're starting games in a month, less than a month.
Yeah, but you know how they used to do the 2 games cut down, another game. No,
it's just one cut. Yeah,
it's only one cut this year, so now you're going to have a whole bunch of players going to the free agent market all at once.
But you got to have room on your 53 to pick anybody up. It's not an easy thing to do because somebody's making your final 53, and then you're looking at, well, we need a receiver out there, and then you got to tell somebody, well, we're bringing in this guy in your cut now. Oh, that sucks. I mean,
that's business.
If you're number 53 on the list, damn it.
There's a lot of guys that are sitting right there. Yeah, that's just.
The Browns have first shot. Remember, they're number 1 on the waiver wire this year again, so we got first shot at everybody.
Yeah,
always nice. The ones that go to waivers. A lot of guys that are older, they can sign with whoever they want. They become free agents, but
after a certain, you're saying because after you putting in enough time, you don't go to waivers anymore.
True, right?
Interesting. How did I not know that?
I believe it's over that 4-year mark, vested years. I don't believe you go to waivers anymore.
Okay, so then after the little talk about Dez, they go to the Antonio Callaway little segment where they show his car getting pulled over. Smells like we're weed in here. Were you smoking marijuana earlier in the day, sir? Of course not. Who, me? Me? This face? Smoking marijuana? No, never. And then they show him at practice. The weird thing was the way they edited this, because they went to that. He's moping around practice, and then they don't show. It almost seems like it's days later when the team finally finds out the way they cut it, because they went to like Njoku, to Baker Mayfield, to Haley, and then boom, back to freaking Antonio Callaway. 20 minutes later in the show, they show the arrest, then they show him moping around practice, and multiple player. Higgins comes up, says something to him. Haley is like, dude, are you okay?
Yeah, he was definitely not okay.
Do you need a hug? Yeah, do you need a hug or something? Like, how often do you walk out on the field and you're like, bro, you need a hug? You're ready for a football practice. I thought Haley just definitely can sense that there's something going on there, and he's like, we need you, man. We need you. Whatever it is, we gotta get this figured out. Hugh pulls him off to the side, has a talk with him. Is there something wrong? Let us know. That's what I'm here for. And he doesn't say anything. And then that segment ends, so you don't it's just him moping around the football field, and then they go to David Njoku meditation and David Njoku dropping balls, which I'm sure is not going to be good for fans to see. And now it just builds up the hate for Njoku. So you can't catch us anything. Terrible.
Yeah. He's got the not bad drop percentage, but it's like a little higher than average. So
he was like right at average in college, right?
Yeah, so it just looks off.
Well, he dropped like 4 balls in one practice or something like that. It's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, David Njoku is going to drop balls. You just hope that he makes more plays than what he messes up, and I fully expect that. Then they sent him to the jugs machine. Hugh calls him out, said, "Hey, 30 catches after practice." And the Njoku, dude, the dude is so fucking ripped. It pisses me off. Like, I realize he's put in a lot of hard work, but good Lord, the fucking genetics on that guy.
Did you know what was interesting about that time? It was a little short segment. Dorsey and a couple of the other coaches sat and watched.
Yeah.
And then did you notice who was in the background? Landry.
No.
Landry was watching.
Oh, really? Well, do you think, though, that all the players just head in there and hit up like, hey, I do 100 balls off the jugs after practice or something? Yeah,
maybe. I kind of thought Landry was there as sort of, veteran presence again, or maybe I just wanted to think that.
Yeah, I think so. He's like, okay, David, here's what you do. You hold your hands out like this, and when the ball comes, you squeeze them. All right, ready? This is how, like, what could he be saying to him? Teaching him how to catch properly?
No, just showing up and just
I think
saying I'm here.
Landry's known for that, for just catching extra balls. There's a big thing about that recently with Antonio Brown. Did you see that shit with him? Like, he averages catching like 120 balls after practice every single day.
Yeah, impressive.
That's the things that you wanted Corey Coleman to do that obviously he wasn't doing. That's the thing. When you want to be great, that's the hard thing. You got to figure out who wants to be great. And the great ones, they go and put in that extra time no matter what. Landry, that's what he's doing. That Landry is making his money by just outworking people. Yeah. Some people can do that. Yeah, so you had the little Njoku scene, then you went to Baker Mayfield. I don't want to give us all away. And then you get back to Antonio Callaway is now meeting with Dorsey and Hugh.
Yeah, that was interesting, yeah.
Dorsey is like, so I'm going to be honest, I'm a little disappointed with you. It's almost like he's like afraid to like really confront him. Like, they didn't really go at him very hard. They really kind of just like, even after the fact that he didn't go back and tell them, that would have been the first thing I would have been ripping him for. Like, dude, if anything happens ever, you need to let us know immediately.
Yeah. It
cannot be found out in the media before we find out about this stuff. We need to know so we can figure out what the hell's going on, and we can be proactive instead of reactive. They were super pissed about it. I thought that he was telling a story. Hugh seemed to believe whatever he told him. What was your takeaway from that?
It just seemed like he gave some sort of kind of bullshit story, and they were like, "All right, we believe you."
Yeah.
It was fine.
Oh, so it wasn't your roach? Hell no, I never seen it. Okay, yeah. We believe it. How long's your car been here? 5 days. Fucking somebody put a roach under the freaking seat 5 days ago. The hell's wrong with these people? If you're done smoking, throw it out the window, you morons. What is going on here? What is wrong with your friends? And then Hugh actually said, look, man, you need to check your car when you get in it. All right, getting in the car. Let's check it for drugs before we go. Said no one ever. He goes, you know your history.
It probably shouldn't be out at 3 a.m. That might have been, that's good times to get stopped by police for nothing. Pulling out of a gas station and not making a stop. I don't even know if that's against the law. Oh, so
you're just believing a story now?
Whatever the cop even sort of, he talked about it on his on the video that Strongsville released.
Oh, I never watched it.
Yeah, he was like, I was just out here looking for drunk drivers. Well, that was a pretty fucking lame stop then.
Yep, that is a bad stop. Throw it out. So do you remember the one part where Hugh was pissed, man? He's like, effort terrible. This is, he brought everybody together. He's actually cursing a little bit. He was telling them not good enough effort. And then afterwards, Tyrod said, hey, coach, pull that up on tape and show that in our meetings. And then that's how you'll get that reaction. And then what do? Cut to Hugh showing it on tape. It's almost as if Tyrod's coaching coach on how to coach. Did that make sense?
Yeah. That was a good idea. It seemed like that's a theme in these first 2 episodes was they want these dudes like going super hard from drill to drill and then complete like when they're doing the plays. They want them to go, man.
It just doesn't seem when you're there. It just always seems like there's a lot of walking around and whatnot to me. Yeah. But what are you gonna do? Then we got to Myles Garrett poetry. Are you ready to buy one of his books?
Yeah. I'll purchase.
I thought it was fucking terrible.
The poetry that was good was when he ran over Greg Robinson, and then Robinson got a little pissed about it, and he said, "I'm pass rushing, man. Stop me."
Yep,
that's good poetry.
Yeah, that's the kind of poetry I like as well.
Yeah.
And then you can hear Hugh going, well, he's getting his ass kicked all over. What do you expect? It just looks like Myles goes hard, man. He goes hard until practice is over, and he goes really soft.
Yeah. Hey,
I almost want to call
he's
him
doing
out.
In the off time is fine with me, as long as he keeps doing what he's doing on the field.
I was thinking maybe Myles is soft. Damn it! What's up with his poetry bullshit? That's why I said he's number 1 overall pick material if he's going to write poetry and tell people about it. You know he's not afraid of anyone.
Yeah, no shit, right?
He's not afraid to get called out.
22-year-old in the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Doing a poetry segment on Hard Knocks. It takes some balls.
Yeah, so then they had that meeting, and in that meeting also, I think that's when Callaway apologized. I'm gonna go. That was like a 10 on the not giving a fuck meter.
Yeah,
I don't think I was not inspired by that apology at all. But Foley, I hope Callaway gets this together. Callaway just looks like a hell of a player, man. I just hope that some hopefully Landry can get to him, take him under that wing. Then you had the big Devin Juice Cajuice segment with his dad, who apparently has had like multiple heart attacks and stroke. Looked pretty healthy guy, dude.
Yeah. True.
Looked like he could fucking put the smack down on you if he wanted to, which was, one of the Hard Knocks loves to throw in those heartfelt segments.
Yeah.
They need to get a couple tears going.
It's Hollywood.
It's Hollywood.
Cajuste does have a future in acting. He could play one of the muscle dudes for a South American drug ring docuseries.
Narcos. He could be in like the next episode of Narcos.
Yeah. That's a good one, right? Yeah, it'd be like
his
perfect.
dad even more than him though. His
Yeah,
dad
sure.
could be a main character with that fucking voice and shit.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, so even if he gets cut, he'll be fine.
Yeah, and then they got into the game, and then we talked about the game last week, but then you get to hear just sort of the calmness with Tyrod Taylor, the excitability out of Baker, trying to get her. Baker's all over the place, smacking asses, high-fiving everyone.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. See, he said, "Oh, this is a lot of fun" to Chubb, and Chubb couldn't get a goddamn yard, so Chubb didn't look like he was having a good time. Just Baker only. And then they talked about Antonio Callaway getting punished. That was his punishment, having to work hard. What did you buy into that? Because that came out. We didn't talk about that. That came out afterwards. That Antonio Callaway's punishment was to have to play longer.
So in the way they cut the show, it made it look like it was punishment because Callaway's getting tired, and they're saying, "Hey, get some water. You're going back in." This is stuff that I wish they wouldn't talk about in the media. I wish they would just not say stuff like that because it sounds stupid to anyone that's ever played before.
Yeah, because you want to get playing time so you can show what you can do.
Yeah,
especially when you're a young guy. Like that's the whole purpose. Like you want it. The more playing time you can get when you're young is good. 1, so you can get that experience. 2, you want to show the coaches what you can do. And 3, you end up taking a one to the house like that, and you get people. The fans are going, you know what? I don't care about that traffic stop. I don't care that this guy has been in trouble before and is a potential risk in that way because he can house it. So I'm good.
Score touchdowns, son. Catch passes, score touchdowns. You can do whatever you want in the weekends. Don't get caught.
Yeah, have that fall guy like Chris Carter used to say, or he said that he took so much heat for. Yeah. Always have a fall guy.
It just if they don't say it in the media and then they show it in the show, it makes it look like it's a great idea. But the way that they Hugh has just the worst way to address the media, and I think you even said Dorsey had talked about it earlier. that they were going to punish him by making him play every down or whatever. You guys got to like answer questions like a little more broadly, or
you mean like Bill Belichick?
Yep.
Sometimes less is more.
Yep.
For the Browns, less Hugh and less Dorsey is more. That's better. I mean, don't get me wrong. Dorsey's doing a really good job. I just don't like when he talks in front of the media.
It's horrible.
It's not good.
They just don't know when to like save stuff, or we got to get our zinger in for this press conference. Like, I don't just, it was, Josh Gordon, we're going to respect his privacy. Well, say it 25 times before you tell everyone in the room to shut the fuck up asking questions about that. Like, we get it. We get your zinger for the day. Good for you guys.
That's John Baptiste or whatever his name was, remember?
Yeah.
So you can blame him for that one.
Well, he probably wanted them to say it once, not 15 times.
Yeah, but they go to that well over and over till it runs dry. The interesting thing, though, right towards the end there is when Haley pulls Landry over to the side and says, basically, you got to take Callaway under your wing. I don't care if you fucking got to move into your house. We need this kid.
Yeah.
And he says the best line, Larry Fitzgerald would do it, and then walks away. Like, it's almost like, what would Jesus do? Larry Fitzgerald would do it.
It's a pretty good Haley to Fitzgerald shout. They worked in Arizona together for a while, right?
Yeah, I believe it must have. I mean, that's if you're gonna take something from anybody else's book, take it from one of the best players and wide receivers in the history of football, Larry Fitzgerald, for sure. That's who's got to do it. I mean, he's the leader in that wide receiver room. That's why you're paying this guy the big bucks. Baker Mayfield brought it up when he was in college. D.D. Westbrook was getting in trouble. He would pick up D.D. Westbrook every day and make sure he got there because the team needed him.
Yeah.
You look at this roster, we need Antonio Callaway badly if we're going to compete. And not just this year, in the long term. If Antonio Callaway can stay on track, he is everything that we wanted Corey Coleman to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It is so important. Now, there's just, the problem that we talk about is the risk there. Going back to when he was drafted, Dorsey was saying, well, we have these systems in place. It seems to me that the only system in place is Landry, and either Landry gets it right, because what's he doing out at 3:00? You don't know. How does he get into, the traffic stop and they don't know? How is his license suspended? How does all this stuff happen? And you guys don't know if all these systems are set in place to make sure these kinds of things don't happen. It seems like the system is, well, we have a veteran presence there, and we think it's a strong veteran presence, one that can handle this kind of stuff.
So if you're going to bring Dez in, then you better hope that's not going to counteract any of the strides you're making. You're also going to get Gordon back, hopefully, at some time.
See, I think Dez gets a bad rap for it. From what I've seen, I mean, Dez was on – I watched his whole season last year, too, and, once again, it's cut and stuff. And the team let him go. He's definitely declined in how good he is, but it's not like he doesn't seem to be a bad team. In fact, to the guys in the room, he seems to be good for the wide receivers. He just jaws with the defense. He talks shit the whole time. Mm-hmm. He brings fire to practice every day, and he's competing every day. He's just an ultimate competitor. I think he takes a bad hit on that, like, oh, he's a terrible teammate. Well, maybe he is for, that you guys aren't singing Kumbaya and hugging the defenders all the time. If you want a guy to come with his lunch pail every day and compete, well, he's going to do that. You got to decide what you want. What kind of team do you want?
Yeah, that might be what we need.
Yeah, could be. So I hope maybe that's not even that bad of a bad thing for Antonio Callaway either. Callaway pretty quiet guy from what everything looks like now. For sure. Yeah. He's just trying to learn the ropes and whatnot. So, you got anything else? That's
nope.
The Hard Knocks segment. If you didn't watch Hard Knocks, well, there you go.
Right.
Now you don't have to.
Took us almost as long to cover it as it did to show the whole show.
Oh shit! You know what we should do? We should buy an HBO subscription for the whole pod, and then one person at a time get to use it. So in case you don't have it, we just hand out the password. We'll have to call people out. You've been on there for 2 hours now.
Yeah, get off.
Time to get off.
Really, what's next? Games Friday night. We'll be recording Saturday then.
So they signed a defensive lineman. They had Jonathan Hankins in and another guy. So they're looking for a little D-line help. We'll see if they end up signing Hankins. They signed another guy so far. Hankins is a guy who obviously has more experience and whatnot. We'll see. Yeah, Blaine Woodson, and he's an undrafted rookie out of the great college of Delaware. So look out for big things from Mr. Woodson.
Okay.
Oh,
awesome.
Corey Coleman this week. Yeah, Friday, Corey Coleman and Josh Allen Bowl versus Baker and Antonio Callaway. So that should be interesting. Absolutely. And we will be back, I imagine, either the day after or, well, not the night of. I'm going to the game. I sold my Indians tickets. I'm going to the Browns game.
Oh, sweet. Cool. All right.
So
that's it. Thank you, everybody. Our Twitter is at STS Podcasts. Our email is survivingtheseason@gmail.com. Hit us up on Patreon. Thank you to all of our executive producers. We appreciate that. # Road to Redemption. Greg, what do we say?
Keep on surviving.